How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to see some seriously scary videos, so hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content, just like this. Ehab Kasmia is a popular urban explorer on YouTube and Snapchat who often investigates eerie abandoned buildings, and more often than not he encounters some very strange things. The building that he explores in this video appears to have been a residence at some point. It's old and largely empty, but a few decrepit furnishings remain. For the first few minutes of his exploration, everything appears to be fairly normal. He seems to be entirely alone in the building. However, a few minutes into poking around the empty rooms, a noise suddenly startles him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم 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 تعال.
He spins around just in time to see a head disappearing behind a door.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
He gives chase, but the shadowy figure is gone.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تعال. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
There are further indications that he's not alone in this creepy old house. As he's examining a bathroom mirror, he's startled when something's caught on camera.
يما بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
A hand seems to reach through the doorway.
يما بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
But there doesn't appear to be anyone there.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Not long after, the shadowy head makes another appearance. The explorer this time doesn't seem to notice it.
يا جن بدنا نحكي معك.
Then things escalate to off-the-charts creepy when he decides to look into the mirror once again. Take a look.
هيو والله وحياة الله هيو. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
Watching that again, slowed down, an eerie face can be seen looking back at him from the mirror. But when he swings around, there's nothing there.
والله وحياة الله هيو. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
So who or what was watching this YouTuber as he explored the old house? Was someone following him around as he documented the building? Is the place truly haunted by some sort of spirit? Either way, one thing is certain, he wasn't alone in that house.
هيو والله هيو والله وحياة الله هيو. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
This footage put Ehab on the paranormal map as he's since garnered a healthy following on both YouTube and Snapchat, as viewers tune in every week to follow along on his explorations. His channel is well worth a look. As always, there's links in the description box below.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
When TikToker and beloved Talia posted a quick lip sync video, they didn't think much of it and sent it out to their followers to enjoy. However, comments quickly started rolling in asking who was in the background. Take a look. It can be hard to notice at first, but if you slow it down, a shadow comes in from the left. Then, right at the end, there's an ominous silhouette in the background. According to the comments, the uploader didn't initially notice the figure and was home alone at the time of recording. People started speculating that it was either a prowler in the house or something paranormal, like a shadow person. Whatever it is, it certainly freaked the comments section out, with most people saying she needs to get out of the house immediately. In 2015, a local resident in Chile was filming two street-legal race cars speed down the road when they inadvertently caught something truly mysterious on camera. The footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel The Buzz for all to see. Watching that again, slowed down as the cars zip by, a dog seems to materialize out of thin air. Even if the dog was just standing on the road, how did it not get hit by the two speeding cars? Neither car hit the brakes or swerved, so it's as though the drivers didn't see the dog at all. Yet somehow it just appears and casually strolls across the rest of the road. When this clip first hit YouTube, it quickly went viral, with comments claiming we're witnessing a teleporting pooch. Others joked that the dog just respawned on the spot. Whatever way you look at this footage, it's a mystery. Clip that seems to just get weirder and weirder the more times you watch it. For many, Christmas time is the happiest time of the year. Imagine then if you glanced outside only to realize you were being watched by a Sasquatch. According to YouTuber North by Wild West, that's exactly what happened. Captured somewhere in northern Minnesota, the video begins as the camera holder films their family's Christmas celebrations.
Oh my God.
As she pans past the Christmas tree, she notices something slinking into the woods out of a nearby window.
Merry Christmas!
The tree?
What was that?
Oh my God.
At first, the figure's hard to see, just a dark shape against the trees. Everyone heads outside to get a better look at the creature. Now, its size and shape become more apparent. It's tall and appears to be covered with dark hair.
Oh my God. No way.
That can't be.
What the?
The creature also walks upright, unlike a bear.
No way.
It clearly isn't a trick of the eye, as the family dog notices its presence and soon takes off after it.
Oh.
Oh, here goes
Oh, no.
after him.
Both the dog and the creature disappear into the woods. However, the creature reappears a few minutes later. This time, it's much more clear.
Oh my god.
It moves through the trees, eventually disappearing from sight. Frightened, the camera holder then ushers the rest of the onlookers back into the house.
We better get back inside, guys.
So could this video really show the elusive cryptid affectionately known as Bigfoot? Many photos and videos claim to provide evidence of the mysterious creature, yet to date, no one's been able to definitively prove that it really exists. This next video was uploaded to Reddit by OddExplorer2735. It features what some think might be paranormal activity at a nursing facility somewhere in San Diego. The clip was supposedly captured by a co-worker of the poster while they were on a late night break. They noticed some odd movement nearby and, as they were already on their phone, decided to take a video. Watch. As you can see, several translucent shapes pass by the light in quick succession. According to the poster, the staff at this particular facility believe it to be haunted. As paranormal activity is thought to be common at many medical facilities, several viewers thought that these figures had to be ghosts. However, a few keen-eyed viewers thought that the shapes were just water from a sprinkler system. This certainly seems possible, and if you watch the clip again with that in mind, seems like it could actually be the case. Unfortunately, the quality of the video is too low for viewers to come to any definitive conclusion. So what's your opinion? Was this a genuine paranormal encounter, or has this mystery been debunked as little more than water coming from a sprinkler? In January 2022, Unanswered Universe uploaded this eerie piece of footage to their Instagram account, and it's been freaking viewers out ever since. Have a look. This home security feed catches the moment a chair moves, seemingly all on its own. The homeowner goes to inspect it when it suddenly flies towards him. Understandably, most viewers were freaked out by the incident, with many saying the house needs to be blessed by a priest, noting that the chair seemed to move quite aggressively, as though a demonic energy was the cause. Others were a little more level-headed, skeptical of the camera angle and why the camera was filming in the first place. So let me know where you sit on this. Demonic energy, or just a prank looking to score some Insta views? Let me know down below. In December 2014, a woman named Cecilia Carrasco claimed she was attacked by a ghost. 34-year-old Carrasco was visiting her lawyer in Santiago, Chile, when she felt something push her to the ground. Luckily, the officer's CCTV cameras caught the incident on camera for all to see. Nothing seems to touch the woman, yet she falls to the ground as though pushed by some unseen force. Recalling the event, Carrasco said she felt like two hands pushed hard on her chest before she fell. She admits that she never believed in ghosts until the incident and is now frightened to leave her home. Initially, Carrasco thought someone in the office had pushed her, then ran away. But when the receptionist confirmed that there was no one there, she had to see the footage for herself to see what had actually happened. Authorities thought that she may have been confused as to what took place, however they declined to comment on the strange footage. Despite the fall, Carrasco didn't require any ongoing medical care. So what do you make of this bizarre event? It does genuinely look like Carrasco was pushed, so could it have been a ghost? Drop your theories in the comment section down below. There are certain rules we're taught to believe that the universe will always obey no matter what, but what happens when one of those rules is unexpectedly broken? That's exactly what seems to happen in this strange video uploaded by Redditor DRK34. The question is, does this footage show a glitch in the fabric of our reality? The footage appears to have been shot on a cell phone camera in some sort of park or outdoor area. The person behind the camera is recording a toddler running with a dog bounding behind playfully. But that's when something truly mysterious happens. Take a look. The dog runs into a dark shadow and disappears from view. A second later, the dog reappears several yards away from where he just was. He seems to have teleported several yards in a matter of seconds. Some viewers think that the dog just moved very quickly and changed direction while obscured by the shadow, but others are less certain of this mundane explanation. Most viewers state that if you watch closely, it's quite clear the dog couldn't have moved so far so quickly, and that he seems to completely disappear for a split second. They also point to the dog's confusion as evidence that something's amiss. So what do you make of this bizarre footage? Is this really a teleporting pooch, or is there a simpler explanation? If you've ever come home to an empty house and thought it felt a little bit creepy, then perhaps you shouldn't watch this next video. Uploaded to YouTube by Carrero Mask Channel, the clip shows a man as he returns home to his 5th floor apartment. The place is dark, but when he turns on the entrance light, he's immediately startled. There appears to be a hand resting on the arm of his sofa. At first, it looks as though the hand belongs to someone that's hiding on the other side. However, when the camera begins to pan out, the hand mysteriously vanishes. The YouTuber eventually enters his apartment and begins to look around, yet he's unable to find anyone. The clip is certainly a head scratcher. If the hand did belong to a person, then where did they go? It would be almost impossible for someone to escape from a 5th floor window, and even harder to do so without being seen. There's also the fact that the hand suddenly disappears. It doesn't just slink back over the sofa as you'd expect if it belonged to someone. It just seems to disappear into thin air. Another chilling aspect to this video is that the YouTuber usually posts normal content about his day. He's not known for posting paranormal clips. So what do you think this footage shows then? Did the hand belong to a human intruder, or is there something supernatural at play here? Watch the clip again and judge for yourself.
preliminary investigation of paranormal activity.
YouTuber Phil Kosh is certainly no stranger to the paranormal. On this occasion, he decides to explore the Alchemist Theater in Bayview, Wisconsin, a venue thought by many to be haunted. Even Kosh himself claims to have had a conversation with several actors who have witnessed strange things in the theater as well as in its basement.
People have cleared out of the Alchemist, and I'm going downstairs now. I'm gonna do a little bit of investigating in the dark. It's totally dark down here. Jeez. Okay.
In this video, he centers his investigation around the basement, and it quickly becomes obvious that this is a place you don't want to be, especially after dark.
I'm in the basement.
As he explores the dimly lit area, he's suddenly startled when he runs into a cord hanging from the ceiling.
Jeez. Now I'm freaking myself out. I'm freaking myself out because I just ran into this little thingy hanging from the ceiling. Alright. Jeez.
Already on high alert, Kosh's night only gets creepier from here. He makes his way down a passageway and begins to search the adjoining rooms.
I'm going down this hallway. We got 2 doors open here. I don't know what's in this room here.
He eventually reaches a doorway. Take a look at what he finds.
Oh! Jeez! What the? Okay. Shh.
Inside, he discovers a creepy doll-like prop that appears to be hanging from the ceiling. The investigator is immediately spooked, however soon regains his composure and returns for a closer look.
But this is a theater. I'm sorry. This is a prop. This scared me. Look at this. Okay, everybody, look at this. What wouldn't... Okay. What... Okay. That must have been from a play. Okay, now I gotta really check, is this real? This is the most disturbing thing I've seen in my freaking life! Jeez!
Suddenly, a door closes behind him. He decides to follow the sound, but is soon distracted by yet another door slamming shut.
Oh, come on. I think I have enough information here to get the hell out of here and bring my team back in. Hold on, let me just... This sounded like it came down this hallway here. I'm in the dark. I don't have a real flashlight. I'm going off of my view screen right now. Oh, I can't see anything. It sounded like a door closing. I still hear voices upstairs, so the voices of the music is still from upstairs. I heard that. I can't tell if that was from upstairs or not. There are things moving around all around me, and I'm not liking this, so okay. I'm heading out, and I don't even know which way to go.
It's at this point that he wisely decides to pack up and leave. However, the basement is a dark labyrinth of rooms and hallways, and it's hard to find his way out.
I can't see anything. Is this a way out? That was that door that just closed.
Then, just as he thinks he's found the exit, this happens.
Alright, I'm looking for a doorway to the upstairs with this little thingy. Here's a doorway, here's a way out. Jeez! Jeez!
Watching that again, a broom or shovel inexplicably falls in front of him. Then the video abruptly cuts out.
I'm out of here. I don't know where I am.
Kosh was obviously able to find his way out because he returned to the theatre 2 months later. In an effort to capture even more eerie footage, this time he decides to set up several cameras throughout the premises. Sure enough, it isn't long before his efforts are rewarded. Take a look.
Something just moved behind me. Jeez.
As he takes a seat in the theatre, the chair behind him inexplicably moves.
Something just moved behind me. Jeez. Okay.
He then returns to the basement. As he approaches the room where he first saw the creepy prop in the previous video, the door appears to open all by itself.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look, see if this prop is still back here again. And then we'll take a look. Come on. That's not cool.
Naturally, he scrambles out of the area, but is soon tempted to take another look. Thinking that there might be someone messing with him, he calls out, but gets no response.
If anybody's in there messing with me, I'm gonna kick your ass. Oh, jeez.
Kosh then enters a nearby room where he continues his search.
Okay, flashlight. Hello?
Suddenly, the door to the prop cupboard opens once more, this time with a lot more force. This event is enough to send the explorer running from the basement. As he does, one of the stationary cameras captures another door opening. Panicked, Kosh quickly grabs his equipment and exits the building.
Out.
It seems that apart from the chair moving in the theatre, the creepiest encounters in the building all occurred when Kosh was close to the creepy prop. Could it be that the doll itself is responsible for the strange events? Some people thought it might be possessed by a restless resident poltergeist. Sadly, the theatre is now permanently closed, making it difficult for anyone to find the answers to these pressing questions. This set of photos was submitted to us on our subreddit by BRXMum. In 2017, the OP and her family all got together for the passing of their great-grandpa. They took a series of photos at the cemetery as a keepsake for the day. Although somber, everything seemed perfectly fine. That is until the family reviewed the photos they had taken that day. If you take a close look, there appears to be an extra hand. It looks like dull, grey fingers. Some viewers suggested it might be the woman in green's hand. However, the OP remembers that she had her hand on her back at the time, plus the fingers are a dull grey colour and don't match the tone of any of the people present. Given that the photo was taken at the cemetery, even the mere suggestion of grey reaching fingers appearing out of nowhere is unsettling. Have you ever been going about your day and felt like someone or something was watching you? After this video from Instagrammer ParaNormal, you might find yourself looking over your shoulder a little more than normal. In this clip, we see a man in a dim room. Keep your eyes on the curtains in the background. The streaks of light coming through the curtains are about to go from abstract shapes to pure nightmare fuel. Take a look. As the man goes about his business, the light coming through the curtains begins to take on the shape of a person's silhouette, almost as if someone's standing on the other side of the window. However, if that were the case, it would be the shadows, not the light, that form the silhouette. At one point, it's as though a hand runs down the curtain. Could this be a case of pareidolia, the human tendency to see faces and other signs of life where none exists? This might be the case, but how do you explain that hand running down the curtain? The man quickly rips the curtains open, showing that there's nothing on the other side. So could this then be some sort of spirit haunting the home? Some viewers have been quick to dismiss this video as a hoax, questioning why the man was filming in the first place. However, others have questioned how such a thing would even be possible to fake in the first place, especially because the end of the video shows that there's nothing waiting on the other side of the curtain. This very brief clip has little accompanying information. It's been suggested that it might have been captured by someone on vacation, and judging by the large pillars, it looks as though it was filmed outside of a temple. As the camera holder pans around the site, take a look and see if you can spot anything unusual. Besides the man seen exiting the building, keen-eyed viewers may notice there's another figure standing by one of the columns. However, it isn't until you slow the footage down that you can see what it actually looks like with any great detail. The figure stands with its head tilted back at an awkward angle, its mouth and eyes wide open, leaving empty black holes in its pale face. Its head seems to be twisted into a frozen scream of horror. While there's no denying that this is a creepy video, the fact that there's almost no accompanying information makes it impossible to know just what we're seeing. Could it be a spirit that's somehow associated with this old temple? Unfortunately, until more info comes to hand, this clip will have to remain a mystery. In this clip, we see several people visiting a friend in hospital. As they casually chat, one of them appears to call the camera person closer. As they do, the camera moves around, inadvertently capturing something rather chilling in the background. Take a look and see if you can spot what it is. It's very easy to miss, but if you slow the footage down, you can clearly see the head of a small figure peeking out from behind the bed. Strangely, nobody seems to notice the mysterious figure before the clip ends. If you take a good look, you can see that it appears to have a rather unusual face. It has dark hair, large eyes, and an oddly shaped nose. The strange thing about this video is that the room the group is in looks rather small, meaning it would be very difficult for someone to be hiding. So then, could this figure actually be some sort of paranormal entity? Spending the time in hospital is already an unpleasant experience without the thought that you could be sharing a room with a spirit.
From here.
This bizarre piece of footage was uploaded to TikTok by jmaleo165. A worker at a hospital is filming the security feed with their phone, showing their co-workers that something truly odd is happening in the laundry room. Take a look.
No way. No way. Jim.
Send me the video when you...
Oh, I'm gonna.
The best is when the other one comes over. It's like it didn't want to see the front of it, you know? Because it funded so that he didn't have to look at it no more, whoever's in that room.
The security footage is sped up, but as you can see, the washing machine starts moving, seemingly all on its own.
No way. No way.
Send me the video when you...
Oh, I'm gonna.
The best is when the other one comes over. It's like it didn't want to see the front of it, you know? Because it funded so that he didn't have to look at it no more, whoever's in that room.
Shortly after, the washers on the left start moving as well.
Madeline, you didn't see... Come and look at the second one. Here comes the second one. No, the second one's moving now.
No way.
Watch the second one, then the second one falls off. And the lady comes in from Dude Died Night, she don't know what to say. She was like...
She was on FaceTime with somebody.
Before long, yet more movement can be seen.
Look, here goes.
It happens.
Look.
This does not happen.
Look, the ghost. Look.
Look at it.
Who's spinning it?
It's spinning.
It's spinning the cycle. It's gotta be spinning.
It almost looks like the machines are being pushed by some unseen force.
Like that. Mine ain't bolted in my house. Mine don't come and walk around my...
That's true.
Look.
That's true.
Look how that one just came out. How'd it come out like that? That was pushed out. I don't care what nobody says. You can tell me whatever you want.
Me too. I can't wait to show everything.
Then they start moving back and forth.
Show them the thing. Look, here. Look at this. Look at it coming.
No way.
At one point, the door at the rear of the room opens. According to the uploader, this is an employee who heard a commotion in the laundry room. They then notified the security desk that something strange was happening.
There's a ghost here.
No way.
I'm showing them the ghost in the back.
The ghost?
Oh, did you ever see what happened last night? Forgot about it. The laundry
Full
room.
time.
After this, you can even see one of the powder drawers on one of the machines open all by itself.
They just start coming out and moving and going in circles and what you call it. Come and look. Yeah, but it's crazy. I never saw anything like it in my whole life.
Naturally, the comments section was set alight with theories. Some people thought perhaps it was actually a security feed from a cruise ship. At first, this could make sense. However, the paperwork on the desk in front of the monitor says it's a hospital.
The best is when the other one comes over.
Another keen-eyed viewer asked why none of the machines seem to be plugged in with hoses or electrical cords. This is a valid point, but it still doesn't explain how these super heavy machines just pivot back and forth with ease.
Look, here we...
Another theory is that they are actually on and vibrating heavily, which could cause them to move around the room. But if they're not plugged in, then this doesn't explain the movement either.
There's a ghost here.
No way.
Because this footage was filmed at a hospital, many viewers thought it could be the work of a poltergeist, or perhaps the residual energy of those who have passed away in the hospital.
I don't come and walk around my... Look.
That's true.
Look how that one just came out. How'd it come out like that?
So they're the theories, but where do you sit on this bizarre piece of footage? Drop your opinions in the comment section down below.
Look, here, wait. Show them the thing. Look, here. Look at this. Look at it coming.
No way.
This curious snippet of footage has been doing the social media rounds lately. It purports to show a time traveler at an Elvis concert in the early 1970s. Take a look. As you can see, there appears to be someone in the crowd holding what looks like a modern smartphone. They're pointing it right at the stage as though filming the event. Obviously, tech like this didn't exist in the early 1970s. Some people thought it looked like the Kodak 110 camera, a slim cartridge-based device released in 1972. While this could be a possibility, it looks like the person is filming continuously in portrait mode, up and down. The Kodak camera takes still images and needs to be held horizontally. Another suggestion is that it's a cigarette case and that the person just happens to be holding it up while being jostled by the crowd. Others noted that an Elvis concert would certainly be a worthy event to time travel to. So what are we actually looking at here then? An old Kodak camera, a cigarette holder, or a genuine case of time travel? Take another look at the footage and decide for yourself. In this next video, we see a group of friends having a time setting off small fireworks in the grass. It's nighttime, so the people are only visible when the sparks shoot brightly into the air. Unfortunately, these brief flashes of light also show that something sinister might be lurking nearby. Take a look. At first, it can be hard to spot. However, when the fireworks go off, we can see that there seems to be an extra figure lurking in the background. This person isn't interacting with the group or even watching the fireworks as they spark into the sky. Instead, this pale grey figure stares straight ahead with its hands by its side. Even though it looks rather creepy, it's possible that this figure was there the whole time. The footage is grainy and the surroundings dark. This might make the figure look even more unnerving than they actually are. However, what happens next suggests that we might actually be witnessing something paranormal. Watch. As the next firework flies into the sky, it illuminates a chilling face staring directly into the camera in the left-hand corner of the screen. The face is large and has dark sunken eyes. Some have speculated that it's the face of the same figure seen previously. Of course, it's possible it's just one of the friends attempting to scare the camera holder. Yet, the earlier appearance of the pale, ghostly figure seems a little too coincidental. Take another look at this mysterious footage and let us know what you think's going on in the comment section down below. There's very little information about this mysterious video, except that it was supposedly captured somewhere in Japan. The footage shows two men in a public bathroom. The bathroom seems empty, yet one of them claims he can hear a voice. Convinced that he can hear a sound, he coaxes the other man towards one of the toilet stalls. After a quick search, they discover that the sound seems to be coming from a small radio left by the base of one of the toilets. At first, this seems like a perfectly logical explanation for the mysterious sounds, yet the pair soon discover that the device is actually unplugged. While the situation up until this point is certainly odd, it's when the man exits the stall that things get really creepy. Watch. Suddenly, the pale face of a young woman can be seen by the man's elbow. Her appearance is so brief that if you blink, you'll probably miss it. However, if you slow the footage down, you can clearly see the mysterious face. The area is very small, so it'd be almost impossible for the man to not have seen the woman when he entered the stall. That, coupled with the face's ghostly appearance, has led many to believe that it might actually be a spirit of some kind. So what do you think's been captured in this video? Could the face really belong to a ghost? Or is there a chance there could have been someone hiding in the stall the whole time? Take another look at the footage and let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Nothing puts a dampener on your day like a poor night's sleep. After getting several nights of bad sleep in a row, Redditor KitKat9876 decided to get a camera to see if they could find out what was going on. The answer ended up being much more disturbing than they had anticipated. According to the Redditor, they were having trouble sleeping at night because something would regularly wake them up. They report feeling like something was shaking the bed, but upon waking, they were never able to locate a cause for the strange feeling. Deciding enough was enough, they brought a camera and placed it at the foot of the bed, hoping to capture video footage that could answer their questions. The footage is unsettling, providing more questions than answers. As the Redditor lies sleeping, there appears to be a disturbance with the blankets. It looks as if something has lifted a portion of the blanket into the air. It remains in the air for a few seconds, then drops back down. The sleeper never stirs. The video becomes oddly pixelated during the movement. Much poorer quality than the rest of the video, which makes it hard to see exactly what's going on. The abrupt change in video quality makes the footage even eerier. So what's going on in this strange clip? Some viewers have reported spotting something that looks like a face hovering over the sleeper's back just after the blankets settle. They've suggested the presence of a ghost or even a demon. I'll throw this one out to you, the viewers. Let your theories rip with one another in the comment section down below. In February 2017, a passenger on a commercial airliner flying from Warsaw to London spotted something truly bizarre out their window. They shared the pic to the Facebook page, Chile UFO. In the photo overlooking the wing of the plane, you can see a mysterious formation in the distance. There are 6 distinct columns or figures jutting out from the clouds. Viewers were shocked at the humanoid-like silhouette the shapes were casting. Some said they were angels or demons, while others exclaimed they had to be aliens. It's unclear whether the other passengers on board the flight also saw the phenomena. It's also a shame the passenger didn't take a video of the bizarre sighting to solidify just how strange it is. So for now, all we can do is speculate on what this thing could actually be. This image was posted to Reddit by BetaTap93. In the description, the poster mentions that it's an old photo of them and their cousins. In it, we can see the group smiling happily as they eat a meal. However, near the center of the picture, there's a strange streak of white mist. It has no definite shape or form, and none of the people in the photo seem to notice it. While the shape is odd, it's certainly not definitive proof of the paranormal. It could simply be steam from a hot cup or perhaps a puff of smoke from a nearby cigarette. However, the story that accompanies the photo seems to make it all the more believable. According to the Redditor, everyone seemed to know there was something strange about the house in which this picture was taken. Their mother even had a name for it, Gasparin, which in Spanish means Caspar. They would hear things like wind chimes ringing inside the house when there was no wind, random knocking sounds coming from the walls, and even a guitar playing by itself. However, the strangest events centered around a toy car. One night, everyone in the house was awoken by the sounds of the car turning on. They turned it off, but it sprung to life once again. Finally, they decided to remove the toy's batteries, but a few hours later, it mysteriously turned on yet again. These events, described by the Redditor, sound like the classic antics of a poltergeist. Could it be Gaspar and the ghost that we see in this photograph? Take another look at the photo and tell me what you think it could be in the comment section down below. For many years, there's been stories about a strange bipedal creature that lives in the forests of Ohio. Hunters often share reports of a large hairy animal that walks upright through the trees. Its features are often said to be similar to Bigfoot, but it's thought to be far more aggressive than other alleged Sasquatch species. This legendary creature has become known as the Ohio grassman. For the most part, sightings of this legendary beast have been mostly hearsay. That was until early 2020 when YouTuber We Do It Outdoors captured some footage of something big and hairy moving through the woods in Salt Fork, Ohio. Take a look. As you can see, a large bipedal animal appears to be walking among the trees. The first major sighting of the grassman took place in Minerva, Ohio in August 1978. Evelyn and Howie Clayton were sitting inside their Ohio home when suddenly their grandchildren and their friends came running inside, screaming about a large hairy creature. The Claytons ran outside to see what was going on when they spotted a tall, bipedal, ape-like creature rummaging through some discarded trash. They estimated the beast to weigh more than 300 pounds and said it was covered in dark matted fur. Some weeks later, the Claytons would have another encounter with this bizarre animal. Late one night, they spotted a large pair of eyes peering at them through one of the windows of their home. Howie went to grab his gun, but by the time he ran outside, there was nothing to be found. The following day, local police were called in to investigate. After a thorough search, they discovered large footprints in nearby mud, and they noted a foul smell that lingered in the air. However, it wasn't until the Claytons discovered their pet German Shepherd dead in the woods that the myth of the Ohio grassman really took hold of not only the local community, but the United States as a whole. Soon, sightings all over the Buckeyed State came rolling in. Reports of hairy bipedal creatures became so prevalent that one area of the Salt Fork State Park was dubbed Bigfoot Ridge. These sightings haven't been happening for just a few decades either. In the 1700s, Native Americans living in the Ohio grasslands told stories of large ape men referred to as wild ones of the woods. It's said that some tribes would leave offerings of food just to keep the peace. So is there really an unknown species of creature living in the woods of Ohio? Taking into account the sightings, the footage, and the myths and legends surrounding the beast, there certainly seems to be something living out there in the woods that's acting as an impetus for the legendary Ohio grassman. YouTube channel Adventure Allah is no stranger to creepy abandoned places. However, in this video, the team seemingly get a lot more than they bargained for. For the first few minutes of the clip, the investigators don't see anything particularly notable as they explore a derelict structure. There's trash and debris strewn across the floor. Everything seems to be going fairly smoothly, until this happens. As they cautiously make their way down a long hallway, a figure suddenly darts into view, then runs up the nearby stairway. Bravely, the team decides to sprint after the figure. They rapidly ascend the stairs and turn right into the corridor on the next level. But the figure has completely vanished. They call out, but get no response. The building is completely silent. Quietly, they tiptoe through the hallway, making sure to check every room as they progress. Finally, the adventurers decide to call out to the elusive figure again, and this time, they actually get a response. Whatever it says, it seems to spook the explorers, and they immediately run from the building. Their frantic state appears to indicate that they're being chased. While this encounter is almost certainly not paranormal in nature, it's rather creepy nonetheless. Who was the figure that was lurking in this seemingly abandoned building? Could it have been a squatter? If anyone can translate what the figure says at the very end of the video, I would love to know in the comments down below.
Hey you guys, I just wanted to show you guys a pretty quick feature of the Xbox One and its Kinect. It actually has a pretty cool night vision that I just found today. And if you guys already know, it has night vision.
When YouTuber Marvin Carguest decided to film an Xbox One Kinect tutorial, it seems he inadvertently captured more than he intended. As he shows his viewers how to use the Kinect night mode, you can see something rather eerie in the background.
All you can basically see is my Xbox One controller. Now I'm going to switch on the night vision for you guys. As you can see, it's just, it lights up the whole room. It's actually a pretty cool feature. I don't know if they have an app for this or whatnot.
At first, it can be quite difficult to see, but once you notice it, it suddenly becomes quite obvious. It's a strange, dark shape that's moving in the other room. It's shortly followed by a shadowy mist that rises up towards the ceiling. The shape immediately disappears when the YouTuber switches the camera's setting. In the description, the YouTuber states that he was alone while filming the clip, and that it wasn't until he had finished that he noticed the strange anomaly. In an update, he also notes that he's since moved out of the house after his mum saw a shadowy figure in her bedroom and decided it was time to go. This is certainly a very strange video. While the footage isn't enough evidence to determine what the strange shape is, the fact that he mentions that his mum also saw a shadowy figure makes it pretty compelling. But what do you think? Is there another way to explain the strange dark shape in the other room? Or has this YouTuber really captured evidence of something paranormal lurking in the darkness? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Coulrophobia, the fear of clowns. It's more common than you might think. After watching this video from YouTuber World Paranormal, you might begin to develop this phobia yourself. The video shows an eerie night vision view of a display of dolls and other vintage toys. The fact that someone set up a camera to record the toys suggests that their owner may have spotted something strange happening there in the past. It doesn't take long for us to see why they're suspicious of the antique playthings. The first indication that something's amiss comes when a small orb of light floats past the camera. Could it just be a speck of dust floating past the camera? Maybe, but then something else unusual happens that's harder to explain. Take a look. The clown's hand seems to move slowly downward. A little while later, the camera begins to move or shake, although there's no one in the room to touch it. Seconds later, the clown's hand moves back to its original position. So what's going on in this creepy video? According to some viewers, if you listen closely while watching, you can also hear some odd sounds happening in the background that don't seem to have an explanation. So is there a playful poltergeist in this house, or is the doll haunted? Either way, the toy's owner should certainly be wary of this strange clown. In this short clip, we see a young woman riding a merry-go-round. Everything seems normal at first, but you might notice something rather unnerving if you focus on the mirrors in the background. Take a look. There's a reflection of a rather strange-looking figure. It has a distorted face and its eyes are very small and completely black. It's been pointed out that the ride's lighting and the shape of the mirror may be responsible for distorting another person's face. However, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around in the area. Whatever the case may be, the woman in the video doesn't seem to notice the face at all. So what do you make of this clip? Is there something paranormal at play here, or is it more likely just a strange distortion? Take another look at the clip and judge for yourself. This next puzzling clip was uploaded to TikTok by user Delegati Art. It shows what many are calling a glitch in the Matrix. Take a look.
The lights are on, but the lights are not on.
The TikToker shows that the light in his living room is off, yet in the reflection on a glass frame on the wall, the light appears to be on.
But when I'm looking at it, I can see the light bulb on.
At one point, he shows both the lights and the reflection in the one shot, and you can see there's a difference between the two.
Hang on. See it? You can still see it. Still see it. Lights are off. You can still see it. I'm like crouched down to show you. That's a glitch in the Matrix, my friends.
This bizarre clip has since gone viral, racking up thousands of views with hundreds of comments trying to debunk what's actually going on. Some people think perhaps it's all a trick of perspective and that the reflection is actually showing a different light just in a room down the hallway. However, others aren't convinced, saying that the angles aren't right for that to be the answer. I'll throw this one out to you, the viewers. Where do you sit on this? Is it all an illusion, a trick of perspective, or is there another way to explain this bizarre situation? Let me know in the comments section down below.
It's a real glitch in the Matrix live. I'm moving closer to my front window where the sunlight would supposedly come in. But there's no sunlight coming in and hitting that light, right? So I'm holding my phone, I'm just gonna walk closer and closer, and as we walk closer, look at the reflection.
In February 2022, several patrons at the White Swan Inn in Bedfordshire, UK, claimed something invisible deliberately knocked one of their beers off a table they were sitting at. Natasha Magnan, the manager of the 300-year-old pub, couldn't believe the security footage when she went to re-watch the alleged ghostly incident. Take a look at what the cameras captured.
The pint goes a bit. The pint goes a bit fuzzy. Like this is the pint that gets knocked over. The candle going mad. See the candle going mad?
Yeah.
At first, you can see the candle on the table begin to flicker.
The pint goes a bit fuzzy. Like this is the pint that gets knocked over. The candle going mad. See the candle going mad?
Yeah.
Then this happens.
See the hand?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh.
Magnan believes there's a transparent hand that appears just before the pint falls over.
See the hand?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh.
Here it is zoomed in and slowed down. At first, Magnan thought the group of boisterous lads had simply knocked the pint over themselves. However, after watching the security footage, she thinks something paranormal may be happening here. It's not the first time the centuries-old pub has been dubbed haunted either. Over the years, staff and customers alike have heard strange noises around the building. Magnan said one night, while closing the pub on her own, a window mysteriously opened itself after having just been closed minutes earlier. A cleaner reported a shadowy person standing in the toilets, but when he went to have a closer look, there was nobody in the room. Magnan wonders whether a clairvoyant who recently visited the pub has stirred dormant spirits that may be residing in this old building. So is this 300-year-old pub really haunted? Given that staff and punters alike have always experienced strange things on the property, and now that there's video evidence of objects moving on their own, it would certainly seem that something mysterious is happening on this historic site.
See the hand?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh.
뭔 소리야? 뭐지?
Exploring creepy abandoned places is a specialty of Korean YouTuber D-Doc Michael. In this video, he heads to Japan to investigate a building that at first looks relatively modern, but turns out to be extremely run down.
뭐야?
As he explores the building, he calls out to any resident paranormal entities.
계시요?
Shockingly, it seems he receives an answer in the form of an eerie knocking sound. Not long after, as he's looking around what appears to be an old kitchen, he becomes distracted by a noise. Then, as he turns, he notices that an object that had been resting against the wall moments earlier has now mysteriously vanished. Seconds later, he gasps while pointing the camera towards a dark window high on the wall. From the fear in his voice, it's clear that he can see something terrifying watching him.
누구야? 거기 뒤에 누구야? 그 뒤에 누구야?
Clearly spooked, the investigator decides to keep exploring the building.
슬슬 하나씩 나타날란가 봐요.
However, it all becomes too much when he hears what sounds like footsteps emanating from the darkness. He then hurriedly makes his way out of the building. It's now raining outside, yet the explorer continues to shine his flashlight into several of the building's windows. It's now that he finally catches a better look at the figure that was seemingly scaring him inside the building. Take a look. Some viewers have speculated that the explorer has captured some sort of creepy face staring back at him through the window. Others think it's actually something crawling across the floor. Take another look at the footage and let me know what you think this could be. Whatever this eerie footage shows, one thing's for sure, it's unlikely this YouTuber will return to this place anytime soon.
뭐 비친 거 혹시 본 사람 있습니까? 방금 본 사람 있어요?
The origins of this next clip are shrouded in mystery. It appears to have been captured somewhere in Japan, but not much else is known. In it, we see a group gathered around a well. At first, everything seems relatively normal until they peek inside. As the camera focuses, you can briefly see what appears to be a thin arm stretching out of the darkness. The group is scared and make their way from the area. There is another creepy detail in this clip, however, one that's very hard to see and few will likely notice on their first viewing. If you slow the footage down, you can see just as the group flee the area, a ghostly woman suddenly appears in view. She appears to have pale skin, similar to the one seen in the previous video from Japan. While variations of the ghostly woman appear in many Japanese folk tales, there is one in particular, known as Okiku, that shares many eerie similarities to the figure seen in this video. The story goes that while alive, Okiku was falsely accused about losing one of the Himeji Castle's 10 treasured plates. As punishment, she was thrown into a well. It's said that she emerges from the well each night and can be even heard counting, as if searching for the missing plate. While the well seen in this video doesn't resemble the well in Himeji Castle, the similarities between the tale of Okiku and the ghostly figure seen in this video are undeniable. Unfortunately, the location in which this footage was captured is unknown, which makes it difficult to speculate any further. If you have any more information about where this mysterious clip was filmed, we'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. This last video on our list was uploaded to the YouTube channel Gankwa P and appears to be an excerpt of footage taken from a security camera. The video shows a closed gate and, at first, everything appears to be normal. Then, on the left-hand side of the screen, it seems as though a dark spot begins to form. The shape is tall, like a person, but without any clear features. Suddenly, a ghostly figure seems to walk past the gate. It's hard to spot at first, but if you watch the footage again, you should be able to see it. Two more similar looking figures move past the gate during the course of the video. While one might be initially mistaken in thinking that the footage is on loop, the person's hand in the foreground shows that it's not. Another thing that seems to prove that the footage isn't repeating is that about halfway through the clip you can see what appears to be a person in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Even though the quality of the video is poor, it looks as though the person might actually be able to see the transparent figure as they pass by the gate. This is certainly a very strange clip. Unfortunately, without any further information, it makes it difficult to know exactly what it is we're seeing. Are these mysterious figures paranormal in nature, or is there another explanation for their sudden appearance? As always, I'll leave a link to the original video in the description. If anyone can translate what the woman who's watching the video is saying, we'd love to hear about it in the comments section down below. YouTuber Bright Eyes Tarot seems to have caught something strange on their home security system. It was recorded at nighttime, so we see the yard in night vision mode. All is still for a few seconds.
Check this out, just hold up, you'll see.
But then a strange splotch of light moves onto screen.
That. There's no bugs, because it's frozen outside, literally frozen, and it has been consistently iced over. Well, not iced over, but cold. Real cold. What is that?
It isn't perfectly round, but rather jagged around the edges.
What is that?
According to the YouTuber, it was far too cold out for the strange sighting to be any sort of insect. So what else could it be?
There's no bugs, because it's frozen outside, literally frozen, and it has been consistently iced over. Well, not iced over, but cold. Real cold. What is that?
It comes on this side.
Perhaps it's just the light from a passing car or other mundane source. This could be the case. That is, until the light does something quite peculiar. The light moves slowly across the camera and approaches the steps leading to the porch.
Well, not iced over, but cold. Real cold. What is that?
It comes on this side of the dollhouse.
And then, wait. There it is still. Does it go up the steps? Yep, it's going up the steps.
Then it seems to move up the steps as if attempting to go into the porch and perhaps into the house as well.
Is there someone standing on the porch? Done?
Bright Eyes Tarot is a clairvoyant and regularly uploads card readings to their channel. Is it possible then that this OP is more sensitive to the paranormal and has somehow manifested this strange orb? Watch the footage carefully again and let us know what you think.
There's no bugs, because it's frozen outside, literally frozen, and it has been consistently iced over. Well, not iced over, but cold. Real cold. What is that?
It comes on this side of the dollhouse.
This next video is certainly creepy. It was posted to the YouTube channel Santiago Sanchez SRS, a channel known for posting inspection-style videos of houses that are up for sale. However, this particular house is a little different. This one is believed to be haunted. In the video's description, the YouTuber notes that the former owners abandoned the house at 2 AM, claiming it was haunted by demons. One of the first things that he finds upon entering the house is a sink full of insects. This is certainly unnerving, but not necessarily a sign that something paranormal is afoot. Shortly after, he walks into a room that's completely empty, save for a few miscellaneous objects, including a single chair. He looks around, then moves on to what is likely a bedroom where he finds a child's bike and a pile of clothes hangers on the floor. Surely this is evidence that the owners did indeed leave in a hurry. While the exploration is certainly eerie up until this point, it isn't until the YouTuber returns to the room with the single chair that we finally catch a glimpse of the reason why the family probably left. Watch. The chair suddenly begins rocking back and forth, seemingly all on its own. Clearly, the YouTuber seems spooked as he quickly exits the house. While the YouTuber only spends a few minutes in the house, it's more than enough to send him running for the hills. Unfortunately, it seems we may never learn the true extent of what the former owners experienced that really caused them to leave the property in the middle of the night. This next video was sent to the Thinker Thunker YouTube channel by a man known only as Matt. The clip was supposedly captured by a construction crew somewhere in Alberta, Canada. Take a look. It shows a blurry figure throwing what appears to be a large log or even a whole tree some distance. Based on the figure's strength, many who have viewed the clip think it could be some kind of Sasquatch. In Thinker Thunker's analysis of the clip, he estimates the log to be about 10 feet long. Given its thickness and likely species, Thinker Thunker determines that it could weigh at least 50 pounds. Since the bipedal creature was able to throw it so far, it must have been extremely strong. Even the world's strongest man couldn't throw something of that size and weight nearly as far. However, apes are typically stronger than humans relatively to their size. It's this reason that many viewers think that the figure seen in the video has to be some kind of large ape. It's also been suggested that the creature could be a bear. However, bears don't have opposable thumbs, which would make it virtually impossible to throw a log like the figure seen in this video. While the strength of the creature suggests it could be a large ape, none are native to Canada. In fact, there aren't any apes native to North America at all. The province of Alberta contains over 4 million people. However, its population is mostly concentrated in a few urban centres. This leaves most of the expanse relatively uninhabited. Thus, if some kind of giant ape were to live in the area, then Alberta would be a great place to remain undetected. Furthermore, apes are known to be territorial, so this animal may be attempting to warn the onlookers to keep their distance. So what do you think's been captured in this video? Could it really be a Sasquatch demonstrating superhuman strength? Or is there another way to explain what we're seeing? This freaky piece of CCTV footage was uploaded to our Slaptam subreddit by Elite Wizard 7513. It was captured on a home security feed just north of Carson City in Nevada. As the homeowner loads some things onto their truck, something eerie can be seen in the background. Watch. Watching that again, a strange shadow emerges from the darkness, then creeps across the yard. It looks like it deliberately hides behind the car. It then slips between the two vehicles. Some viewers thought that due to the video's poor quality and low compression rate, we might simply be seeing a distorted dog or cat. However, others thought the figure's movements looked too deliberate, almost like this strange shadow is stalking the man. The OP suggested it was a shadow figure, or even a ghost. It's definitely a strange piece of footage, one that gets creepier the more you watch it. This mysterious footage was captured at an outdoor dining area in an unknown location. It's the middle of the day and the place is packed with people enjoying their food. However, if you watch the clip closely, you may notice a rather ghostly looking figure lurking near some of the diners. Take a look. At the very beginning of the video, there appears to be a dark, transparent figure just to the right of the person in the purple top. At first, it's hard to see, but if you slow the footage down, it becomes more clear. Then, as the camera pans past one of the diners, we can see what appears to be a ghostly face peering out over his shoulder. While most supposed paranormal encounters usually take place in the wee hours of the morning, if this footage is genuine, then it might prove that ghosts really can appear during the day as well. Take another look at the clip and let me know what you think. Our last clip, uploaded to TikTok by Mr. List Paranormal, shows an intense encounter in the middle of the night. It was captured via a home security system. Take a look. As you can see, a man is seen sleeping peacefully, when suddenly something seems to grab him by the foot. He's lifted into the air as he scrambles to get away. Eerily, he then just sits cross-legged, not moving at all. Some viewers thought they had just witnessed a possession, a demonic energy entering this poor man while he slept. Others believe it's the work of a poltergeist, a type of spirit that many paranormal investigators say can interact with the physical world. However, a lot of people were suspicious of the camera's position, declaring the whole thing a staged hoax, a clip designed to soak up TikTok views. So is this real or fake? Take another look and decide for yourself. Well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some of our longer compilations, then check out those two links right there. Remember to leave us some feedback in the comments down below. We love reading them. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time. Peace.